Okay. So what would be like then your message to the RC community?
Um, my message to the RC community, look, one of the things that I try to convey on the channel, as you said, is to try and put out as much information as I can, to I guess to a broad audience. And the idea is to, I guess, arm people with as much information as they can have to allow them to make the right decision on the product. So do your research, take your time, learn it, because it's a very involved hobby that's ever evolving,
Yep.
and you do need to sort of keep your wits about you, because that's things can get out of hand, and let's not forget that although these are toys and these are for our enjoyment and entertainment, they can be dangerous, given
Sure.
the size and weight and power that they now have and the speeds that are capable.
Yep.
In the wrong hands, you can hurt someone, you can hurt yourself,
Yep.
and even property. You look at the dangers of
Yep.
lipo batteries if mistreated and things like that. So
Good
um,
call.
just be mindful that yes, it's all for a bit of fun, it's all toys, and but respect it, and I think you'll be fine. That's really
I
the
totally agree with you there because I mean, growing up with the old nickel metal batteries and the old Tamiya cars, nowhere near what they are today. You
mm,
know, I always say to people like when they look at my Creighton, the 8S or the Outcast 8S, or even say a big X Max, I mean, they can eat a little dog.
yeah,
They can
quite
eat. They can.
easily.
I mean, it really could. If you're in the park somewhere and people are walking their dogs or animals, or they have small children, yeah, you take a wrong turn and you don't see that they're behind you, and you're throttling it, and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna do a cool move and cut the wheel and let it skid, and you know, I've had it where I've done it to myself, and the things come flying at me, right? So,
Yep.
yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, it's like you said, it's fun cars, enjoyment, toys, but they can be pretty brutal, man.
They can bite
I've seen
back if you're not careful. They can bite back.
totally, totally. So how long you been in the hobby?
Look, I originally started in the RC hobby, I would say probably for the better part of 20 years ago, somewhere around there. So I would say early 2000s, somewhere around there, 2000, 2001. I got into it because a friend of mine had found an old Tamiya Bearhawk in his cousin's garage, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
dusted it off and got it running, and then he showed it to me. And I was like, wow, this looks really cool. He's ripping around in the park and creating all sorts of little dust donut trails.
Yeah.
And I thought, excellent, I got to get me one of these. So I went to our hobby shop, our local hobby shop, which coincidentally is the same hobby shop that I've now ended up working in. So
Wow.
I worked for that business, and it was a Metro Hobbies, and I dumped something like $500+ on a brand new TB01. It had a Colin McRae rally body with the Ford Focus shell, and it was a kit, and you had to build it. You had the old mechanical speed controllers, you
Yep,
know,
yep, yep.
you had to
Oh
have
my gosh.
servos in there. And it was, standard 540 size motor, brushed with the nickel metal battery and all that sort of thing. And then eventually I got rid of the mechanical speed control, started upgrading, and we started, because my friend and I were very competitive in speed and all that sort of thing. So our aim is to go as fast as we possibly could. And we try to have drag races and all this sort of stuff. And before I knew it, I had 5 cars to my name. And I had, to me, a Kyosho Ultima buggy. I had a Traxxas E-Max, the old short
Hmm.
wheelbase ones with the black chassis. Just, yeah, all sorts of different things. And then I took a bit of a break because of kids and family and marriage and all that sort of thing
Right.
that still gets. Um, and I got back into it recently. When I say recently, it was about 8 years ago now, where I was very much into gaming. I was, into the PlayStation thing, and I was part of a clan and all this sort of stuff, and it was great. But I got pretty sick of it one day. I just put down the controller, and I'm like, you know what? I think I've had enough of this. I've had my time, and I came downstairs to this very room, and there's a cupboard right in the background there, and in
Uh-huh.
that cupboard, I had my old RC cars, and I dusted them off. Half the batteries were dead. I couldn't get them going, but the other half was still good. And I started mucking around with them. And before I knew it, I was on YouTube and Googling to see what the latest and greatest cars were. And
Yep.
I
Yep.
started finding all these channels, and I couldn't find any Aussie channels. I saw a few American and Canadian channels, RC Sparks, Ultimate RC, RC Nightmare, um, and even RC Militia. So some of these are no longer around. I know RC Sparks are still going very strong,
Yeah.
but a lot of these other channels are no longer around. And I thought, you know what, if these guys can do it, maybe I can give it a shot. And I started the channel, and my dive into RC went from dipping my toes in and just having a bit of fun to really being this juggernaut collection that I have. It's been crazy, and I love it. And I work in the industry, and I have so many contacts, and it's just amazing.